You think about it, a lot of young kids think the 80s was a lot of fluoro. No, everything was brown and dark. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris. And today it is a cosplay guide to Eddie Munson from season 4 of Stranger Things. The brand new season has come and gone, with season 5 tipped to be coming out in 2024. Now, firstly, my initial thoughts on season 4. Absolutely loved it. There was massive Nightmare on Elm Street vibes in terms of the villain of Vecna and invading the dreams of some of the characters, and also the fact that Robert Englund played Victor Creel in the series was absolutely brilliant. And of course, then that leads us to the character of Eddie Munson, played brilliantly by English actor Joseph Quinn. I had no idea this guy was English until I saw an interview of him. That American accent is legit. I'm not American, and I obviously don't know the accent back to front like Americans do, but to me that sounded pretty spot on. Now, I'm gonna be very stereotypical with what I'm about to say, but I really resonated with the character of Eddie. I was that kid in high school. I was the kid that loved horror movies, listening to metal, and just a bit different. And it's so funny now. There are people that I know who I went to high school with that were, you know, the popular kids, and they're posting on their Facebook how much they love Stranger Things and how they resonate with Eddie, and I'm like, no. I resonate with Eddie, you don't. And of course, I've just got to cosplay as the guy. He just oozes charisma in the most wicked way possible. I love his attire. And I really need to commend the costume department, the costume designers, the production designers, the prop designers, the builders, everyone, even down to Joseph Quinn's dialect coach. Everyone brought their A game with this series, let alone the entire series of Stranger Things from series 1 to 4. You think about it, a lot of young kids think the 80s was a lot of fluoro. No, everything was fucking brown and dark. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, I fell in love with the character of Eddie Munson. I love his attire, I love his aesthetic, and I want to replicate that in a cosplay. So not only is this a cosplay guide video, but also an announcement to say that I'm gonna be cosplaying as Eddie Munson, and I'm very excited because it's a comfy looking cosplay. So in this video, I'm gonna be going through the pieces that we used to create Joseph Quinn's costume for Eddie Munson. Now, the awesome thing is some pieces are still readily available and manufactured today. There are obviously some pieces that are vintage and are very hard to find and source. And also some pieces are very expensive, but I'm probably going to be doing a 50-50. I'm not going to be tracking down some of these same make and model parts because it's just astronomical in terms of price, and you kind of got to build smart sometimes when it comes to cosplay. If it looks the part at the end of the day, fuck it. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to the Stranger Things fan wiki page. They have a lot of information on there. So with that being said, let's get started with Eddie's denim jacket. Now, the original make and model jacket they use is a Levi blanket line denim jacket. Now, the good thing is they still make that trucker's jacket to this day. The only thing is it is not lined like it was in the 80s. This is not a Levi's one. This is something very similar. I will be getting a Levi's trucker jacket. You can get them at your local Westfield. My local Westfield's like 5 minutes from here, and I was up there today, and they've got them in stock. So I'm gonna be sourcing the leather jacket before I buy the trucker's jacket, the denim trucker's jacket, just to make sure they're gonna fit on top of each other and just look nice. Now, there are a lot of patches and a lot of badges going on Eddie's denim jacket. So the denim jacket dons a Megadeth, Motorhead, and Iron Maiden patches, and as well as a patch of the Leviathan cross. Now, these patches you can find online with a quick Google search, but most notably on Etsy. Etsy is probably your best bet when it comes to these patches and pins. Now, the vest also features a Wasp, Accept, Merciful Fate, and Judas Priest pins. Again, find these very easily on Etsy. Now, the back of the jacket is very interesting. There's a Dio back patch, and the Dio patch was made from a genuine vintage Dio t-shirt donated by the estate of Ronnie James Dio. So that is very cool. There are reproductions out there. I have purchased a reproduction. Again, quick Etsy search. There are a lot out there on Etsy. Google search, whatever you're jonesing for. I have heard the reproduction prints of the Dio insignia is a bit bigger than the actual vintage shirts, but it's something I can just totally work with. And it just means I don't want to ruin a vintage t-shirt. I don't want to cut it out and stick it to the back of a denim jacket. I'm just going to get a reproduction. And that's what I've done. So the leather jacket, and I don't know how to pronounce this properly, is a Scott 141 Cafe Racer jacket. I will not be purchasing this jacket because it retails for 800 USD, and just no. It's a very straightforward racing jacket. You can find something very similar at your local clothing stores or even your thrift stores. So that is what I'm gonna be doing. Again, like I said, I'm gonna be sourcing the leather jacket first before I go up and buy the Levi's trucker jacket, just to make sure they're gonna fit nicely on top of one another. Now, in terms of the Hellfire Club shirt, it's totally custom made for the series itself. Again, Etsy, Google, Amazon, there are plenty of replicas out there, but obviously you want a good quality cotton one. The belt buckle is very interesting. It's a set of handcuffs, and I searched high and low to try and find the make, the model, the brand, and what I found, it was a vintage 1981 Bergamot Brassworks handcuff belt buckle. They are sold out everywhere. It's one of those things where you just have to constantly keep checking, say Etsy, eBay, or just random individual sites that sell buckles or vintage attire for that matter, because they're sold out everywhere from what I can see. I do have a solution and an alternative option. This lady's belt from Kmart, which costs $8 and has two rings that are very similar to the position of the handcuffs on the same make and model belt buckle that Eddie adorns. So this'll do for now. If I can find the buckle, sure. Now the jeans are pretty straightforward. They're just a pair of black Levi's. I have a pair of black Levi's that I've owned for 10 years now. I got them in Times Square, New York in 2012 when I went over there with two of my best mates, Pete and Brad. Bought them at the Levi's store in Times Square, and I've worn them enough. They're nice and weathered. They've got like resin drops on them and dust everywhere, and all I have to do now is add the knee holes in them. So I feel like they're just naturally weathered now. Even though they're the best jeans I've ever had, I feel like now's the time to properly utilize them. Eddie'd be proud. The shoes are pretty straightforward. They are Reebok high tops. I don't know if they use the reproductions or originals for the production. I'm probably guessing they sourced originals because they have a budget. But you can still readily buy Reebok high tops. They retail for about 140 Australian dollars. Here, this is a screenshot I found of a website that sells them, so I'm gonna be purchasing a pair of them, wear them in, give them a little bit of scuffing here and there because they are a really nice shoe. I would not only wear this for the cosplay, but I'd actually wear it out and about. Now we're getting down to the accessories. So the watch is a Casio F91-W. This is the most common Casio watch you can find. It's like their flagship watch in terms of this design. They're still readily available and you can purchase them for about 40 to 50 Australian dollars. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I'm going off the top of my head when I was looking and researching everything this afternoon. It's interesting though, there are photos of Joseph Quinn outside of his trailer, and he's got his hands out showing all the rings and his watch, and it's a different make and model watch, and that's a behind the scenes photo. But in the final cut of the show, when he's out in the woods with Chrissy talking to her, he has the Casio watch. Now when it comes to the rings, I'm just gonna go to the local flea market and just find some metal rings and stuff like that, just stuff that I can find as close as possible. Now he also does sport his wallet chain and a wallet chain bracelet. Now he also has a black skeleton pirate bandana hanging out of his back pocket of his black Levi's. Now in terms of the wig, I just found this rocker wig online. Probably just need a bit of futzing, a bit of teasing here and there, and I'll also probably spray an acrylic matte on it just to matte it down a bit so it's not as glossy. Now I will be wearing brown contact lenses, very dark brown for that matter, because Joseph Quinn has beautiful dark baby browns and I've got blue eyes, and you'd be surprised, like what I did with Jack Sparrow, popped in some brown contact lenses to darken my eyes, and it just changes your whole face. So guys, that is pretty much it in terms of a general cosplay guide to Eddie Munson. If it's one of the things where you're gonna track down all the original parts, more power to you. In this case, I'm gonna be sourcing a few same make and model parts, and it's cool that they can still make certain make and model parts to this day and still manufacture them brand new. It just goes to show that some things never age and some designs are timeless. And I'm really excited to cosplay as Eddie. It just seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun, much like Jack, Captain Boomerang, so I am psyched. So thanks very much for watching, guys. With that being said, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts of season 4 of Stranger Things. I am gutted that we have to wait until 2024 for season 5, but to be honest, the Duffer Brothers deserve a damn good break. Now keep in mind, guys, I will leave all the same make and model name parts in the video description of Eddie's costume in case you want to Google them, Etsy them, and try and source them yourselves. And with that being said, wherever you are in the world, please have yourselves an absolute cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.